Hello again! Doc on the clock with more MAGMML3! Okay, I can't use the mapper here or in the hotel. That was worth taking a look, but let's go to Tier 1. I want to take a look around at some places. Alright. So I can just keep this map up while I'm looking through. My goal is to see if I've missed anything interesting here. There might be rooms that I haven't been to. Alright, here's Presto. Jerk. I'll give this place one thing, all the junk makes for some rough terrain. If you ask me though, I'd say the floor could really use another coating of rusty nails and needles. They sanitized it too much for the festival, you know? They should have preserved some of the danger. I disagree. Alright, nothing here that I'm picking up on. Forge Woman is here, though. You know, Sunstar, this old factory is just a bit big. Shame everything all bust up, though. I'd have loved to have had a mooch when it was active. Might have looked tip-top with some paint and spit. Still, it's a better sight than some of the simulations here, like the one up ahead. I didn't see any cake, and I sure didn't see much in the way of aesthetics. Ah well, no reason to throw a Benny about it. It's a big turtle, there's lots more to go. You keep it up, too. Interesting that these places do get some extra population when they as we go through the festival. But so one thing I missed before, these don't have prompts next to them, but they do actually have associated text. So let's look at these. Underwater combat robot, Faucet Man. Failure. Faucet head constantly leaks sulfuric acid no matter how much the valve is tightened. Note to self, consider a more compact form of weaponizing water. Dr. W. I'm sure there's a more compact form, like Wave Man, Bubble Man, Burst Man, Pump Man. This looks like Drill Man. Armored explosive robot, Drill Man. Failure. The drills of the bomb chip cannot reliably penetrate walls and remain fixed. Note to self, apparently a Russian scientist is designing a similar robot to this one. Consider revising this drill bomb for future use. That might actually have been a prototype for Crash Man / Clash Man, whatever you want to call him. And this one is time-stopping robot, Light Man. Failure. Time-stopping technology doesn't work, and in fact this causes the body lights to flicker constantly. This robot makes me physically ill. Light Man, I'm sure your successor Flash Man appreciates you, but yeah, you didn't end up doing very well. Armored combat robot, Barga Man. Barga Man? Upon completion, this prototype went out of control, only saying something about assimilation. Notice more of this robot appearing weeks later, just so other prototypes have vanished. Creepy! I'm going to avoid that. Nature combat robot, Elephant Borg. Failure. Despite possessing great strength and bulk, this robot's power consumption is laughably poor. It runs out of power in just 2 hours. It also refuses to accept any fuel other than, of all things, peanuts. Unsurprisingly, peanuts do not power robots for very long. That seems like a failure of your personality coding, Dr. Wily. Agile combat robot, Boomerang Man. Failure. Although the boomerangs this robot uses shows promise, it has one fatal flaw: I can't catch them when they return. I'm sick of having to constantly replace an arm and half its face every time I want to run a weapon test. I'll just make the next robot model fast enough to dodge them. Quickman's earlier, less successful brother. What in the world is this one? Air Assault Robot Thunderman. This robot cannot handle the voltage of its own electric attacks. Every combat test has ended with the prototype completely short-circuiting itself and starting at least 2 fires. Between Smokeman and this useless bolt-flinging bucket of bolts, I regret not putting more windows in this place. This would be Smokeman, I'm sure. Incendiary combat robot. This robot's unorthodox means of venting excess heat has caused tar to clog up its servos and irreparably damage aboard circuitry. All attempts to provide substitutes have been violently refused prior to total mechanical failure. I'll need to consider a different means of controlling nuclear power in a robot. Remember, kids, smoking is bad for you, even if you're a robot. Nature combat robot, Wormman. Failure. Hindsight is always a nuisance. I've only now realized that I built this robot a smidge too tall. Upon completion, it couldn't walk out of its manufacturing chamber. When told to crawl out, it claimed to hate small spaces. Bah, so much for natural camouflage. I could probably make a better combat robot out of a tree. And, well, he did. And this is underwater combat robot, Pumpman. Huh. Failure. In addition to sinking like a rock in water and being completely inept at swimming, the bubble shield designed for it is, well, useless. I sure as hell destroy that blue pipsqueak this time next year. I swear I'll never resort to using a robot like this. Years later, after a influenza outbreak, Dr. Wily is just like, technically I wasn't trying to, but... I could theoretically teleport down there, but I don't think it would change much. Alright. There is the down here. I've already found this capsule, so nothing here in Tier 1, nothing else here in Tier 1 to see. And Proto-Man still says, minor nuisance. So there will be a reason to come back here, but not for a while, I guess. Let's check Tier 2. Did I miss anything here? Oh, I did not see Presto here before. Woohoo! Did you know I'm magnetic? I just found that out myself. I guess this giant magnet is in the trash repelling me. Don't help me get down, I'll figure it out. Sure, I am perfectly happy not helping you. There's Fortune. You know, this stigma that scrapyards are filthy places overrun with bugs. It's all nonsense. The regulations for these places are actually 10 times stricter than the norm. But of course, pansies will always be pansies. Nervous is naught but a little oil and bad smell. And I suppose the chance of seeing your brother or dad in one of these scrap piles in our case. But hey, we all end up here sooner or later, don't we? Planet life's what gives us meaning. Doesn't seem like there's too many places to explore here. I do believe I saw Hunter Woman there before, so... This mini-map has some questionable orientations to it. And since we're here, No one else knew there, so... Wasn't it here? Maybe it was a little further on. No, it was not further on. There we are. I want to hear some more stories. Bit shrouded in mystery. In some circles, there are claims that in the old festivals there was a committee that inspected each of the simulations. They sent out teams of robots to make sure nothing was out of line or wildly dangerous. I'm surprised to hear this is because they kept it fairly under wraps, or so they say on the grapevine. They shut down the entire program when one of the teams completely disappeared on them, also known as Throra. As the rumor goes, that team went crazy and started stealing festival property. Caused a whole lot of trouble until some unknown figure took them down, and then they were erased from all records. Yeah, the story of Episode 0. And information on Idlewoman. Created as a civilian worker robot named Jill Pop, tasked with backstage work for concerts across Europe. Repairing equipment, managing sound levels, tuning up instruments, regulating electric currents, and the like, she quickly acquired her own taste for music, particularly heavy metal and J-pop, and desired the spotlight herself. Reportedly, it was quite the struggle for her to land gigs. Many saw robot performances unable to compete with human voices. Eventually, though, she struck a deal with a minor records company, and Idlewoman was born. She's earned herself a modestly sized fan base by now, with her fans adoring her energetic music and bubbly personality. So that isn't to say she's quit her original line of work. I've heard she still works as a roadie, and she's much more sarcastic and hot-headed while on the job compared to her time as Idlewoman. To tell the truth, much of this information I've gathered from rumors. I've committed them to memory because, well, I'm quite a fan of her music herself. For myself, Electronic Transmission's a personal favorite of mine. No surprise, huh? Okay. Thanks to the tournament, you've encountered Forge Woman, correct? I met her once, many years ago, in this very scrapyard. It's quite the name in the construction working scene, though that hardly translates to being a celebrity. Forge Woman leads a construction union back in her native UK, though she comes overseas for quite a few projects. As it turns out, the many schemes of Dr. Wily and like-minded folk have left many an evil fortress to demolish. Wait, really? I was pretty sure that I made all of those self-destruct. Not to mention the damage done to cities, her union has quite the leverage thanks to their importance of their work. She wears her heritage proudly, too. Her accent is straight out of the city of Birmingham. I've heard some have foolishly underestimated her because of it, but when it comes to stealing and resolve, the construction business is as tough as it gets. Without them, we would not have a world to protect. Tell me some more, Tako Trash. With you joining the tournament, I'm sure you've encountered that Hunter woman. She's a strange fellow, isn't she? But she's good at heart and quite a fan favorite. It's no surprise that many are rooting for a veteran such as her. Do you remember the first annual robot tournament, the one that Mr. X hosted? That was where her legacy began, in fact. Back then, she was actually eliminated by Plant Man, one of the tournament's underdogs. What? How could Plant Man eliminate anyone? Surely you have some information on how that happened, Tako Trash. She was no match for his unorthodox abilities and was taught a humbling lesson not to underestimate her opponent. He literally walks and throws a plant barrier. What unorthodox abilities? I've heard they've become good friends since. It helps that they and their creators are fellow Brazilian countrymen. I'm sure you'll get along with her. Her social skills aren't the best, but she is fierce and passionate like no other. I worry, however, robots built purely for combat, most of them have lacked the sense of purpose in my experience. I wonder how she feels. One more for the road. Ghost Woman. Originally created as a worker robot for the company Kakigori Company, specializing in cold storage. Not only was she built to regulate temperatures in the company's warehouses, assisted by a built-in mist generator, she also served as a mascot for the company and was designed after Yuki Onna, a type of yokai. She was nicknamed Yuki by her creators because of this. In fact, one day, however, she became interested in a children's TV show about befriending yokai, and with a renewed zeal, she started to play into her mythological origins. Donning the moniker of Ghostwood, she began practicing her self-made art of ghost tricks, hiding herself in her fog to scare others, abusing the power of illusion with mirrors and lights, even creating snowballs and clones of herself by condensing her own frigid mist. It seems Ernest Will has had his eye on her and her fun-loving personality as she's been contracted to run his arenas. Her taste for atmosphere and mastery of illusion has made her quite fit for the role, it would seem. Watch her background, she isn't too scary, but I'm sure that won't dissuade her from trying to sneak a spoof or two. And there are more stories to look at there. I'm pretty sure there's an achievement for reading all of them, but we'll do that another time. For now, I want to take a brief jump back here just to show something that I didn't know about before. So, you might notice there's a room over this intro room. Invisible ladders, hoy! But these ones are just shortcuts to the bosses, so it's not really missing much or anything. Anyway, I wouldn't have noticed that ever before, but I noticed someone else had found that also through the minimapper. There may be a significant number of other things to look for here, but I'm not going to look for them. Although I would like to try and figure out what these icons all mean. I'm going to guess that... Okay, that's checkpoint, that's mini-boss. That's boss. I'm guessing this is where Dark Anchor was put. And that shows all the Trickster tokens. Good to know. And that does leave me with one thing that I wanted to look at in Tier 1. And I forgot about before. And which stage was it? It was, I think, 171. Yeah, this is the one. It allegedly had a second secret room. Yeah, there's a room right above where that Trickster token is. Let's see if I can get into it. Alright. So I can get to here just fine. So the only way would be another invisible ladder, I think. Yeah, and there's the other invisible ladder. With apparently absurd rewards that are a giant bolt and a giant M-tank. That's... wow, that is... I just maxed out on bolts. That is, yeah, absurd. And hello there, fake man. Hello, Sunstar. You found a large bolt in that simulation, didn't you? Well, the simulation's creator gave the organizers a request of please don't remove the giant bolt and 3 tank, M tank. That bolt you found needs to be returned to honor that person's request of not removing it from the simulation. I'll take care of putting this back. Sorry about the trouble. I mean, it's not that difficult to max out on bolts if you really want to. But yeah, that was. I wanted to see if I could find that. I did. I am happy. All right. Is there anything in the hub here that I didn't see? Huh. There's a kind of disconnected spot there. Here's Forge Woman. Ooh, I remember the last time I worked in the sewers, about 5 years ago, I reckon. It weren't like this, obviously. The water here is sky blue, cleaner than a bath full of shabones. I probably pumped gallons of chemicals down this stuff to get it like this in time for the main event. Makes you wonder why they even bothered in the first place. Ah well, just standing here is making me joints sparkle. I'll just treat it like a nice bath. There is... interesting. Hang on, there is a room over here somewhere. Why is there a room over here? Spark Chaser, anything showing up that might be shootable? No? Huh. Suspicious. In fact, there's a lot of suspicious here. I wonder if there might be a teleporter showing up here eventually. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Hi, Presto. I heard that this sewer has the toughest simulations of them all, and I have to say I'm impressed. Courses with unheard of length, ever so slightly busted mechanics, finally some excitement. Isn't there value in broken and bad things too? That's what I think. Jeez, I sound like Cerberus Man right now. I have a feeling that, like, Cerberus Man and Element Man will start showing up later, too. I visited that shrine. But clearly there is more to see here. Okay. And Tier 4, I don't think there will be any NPCs I need to talk to except Proto Man. Because Presto and Forge Woman I already saw. And from the looks of it... Wait. When did you get to jail? Because I don't remember seeing you in jail before. Funny story how I ended up in here, actually. I was running up the walls and the floors and walls here until I accidentally whizzed past one of those old-fashioned gears. The gear was raised a prison cell, and for some reason a prisoner escaped. So they locked me in here as an equivalent exchange. But now this is a new situation, a new challenge. The World Racing Challenge in Presto, forced to execute something never before seen from them, a jailbreak. Keep her in there as long as possible, please. Alright, and we have Rogue's Ratcheter, which... don't believe I missed anything there. It wouldn't kill me, but, okay. I have a feeling there's gonna be more over there eventually. Or perhaps there's more over there now. Let's try something. Nope. Okay, so Tiers 1, Tier 3, Tier 4, all those I have to come back later for potential other things. Tier 2, I have to come back to listen to more stories. There's a lot of revisiting that's going to be going on. Have you visited Waveman's Saloon, or rather a Waveman Saloon? He's not the only copycat there. There's another familiar face there, though he's honest about not being who he appears to be. He's got something he can't use and he's looking for a buyer. Yeah, I've already been there. So Proto Man so far, not helping too much. But hey, them's the breaks. Anyway, that's the tour for these. I'll probably be back to them. Anyway, that's all for me for now. Until next time, this is Doc. I'll see you later.